Interesting. All right. So, greetings, everyone. I am Dr. Yasmin Nkrumah Ellie of Our Legacy Movement and myEcon. I'm an Executive Vice President, and I want to welcome all of you to this Peak and Pass training. The focus of this training is giving you an opportunity to learn how to share the business. Whether you just joined yesterday or you've been involved for 2-3 years, but you have not shared with anyone, this training will be helpful to you. So I'm really excited that we are here and that we are going to be learning together. So in general, why do we want to share myEcon? Why do we want to share what we are doing? Well, hopefully the answer for all of you is that even if you've been in for a day, you absolutely see the value in what we are doing. And you see how this can benefit yourself, your friends, your family, even those people that you don't know. One of the great things about myEcon is that we are dedicated to helping others. And we are a helping others focused type company. And so by sharing this opportunity, you can help people grow their wealth. You can help your neighbors, your friends, your family, and complete strangers change their lives, and not just change their lives, but change the lives of their friends and family, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren in that trajectory. Um, when I think about wealth and some of the challenges that we face with wealth, many of us are starting a race, a 400-meter race in the parking lot. Some people are even down the street. And so if you aren't starting at least at the starting yard line, or starting at 100 yard, 100 meters, it really is difficult to actually finish this race. And so I know for me, I got involved in the race from the parking lot, but I don't want that to be the same situation for my children, particularly when they're competing with other children who are starting at the 200 or even the 100 or the 300. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. We have Vernon Ashby here, and he is going to be helping me with this training. Hi, Vernon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. So thank you so much for joining and getting involved. He has been doing an excellent job of peaking and passing over the past few weeks. And so I am delighted that he is joining us for this training. All right. So one of the psychology behind doing the peak and pass, and I'm really grateful to Corey Briggs for really elaborating about this, is that you want to get the pressure off of you. If you're new, you want to get the pressure off of you. If you're dealing with your warm market, your friends and family who are looking at you and saying, just last week, were freestyling in the alley, and now all of a sudden you're a financial advisor. And so you want to get that pressure off of you while you're going through this process of people recognizing you as someone who's involved in financial literacy. And sometimes our families and our friends could be our biggest critics. Man, this is my girl, this is my boy. Of course they're going to support me in this. But sometimes in the back of people's minds, whether they mean to or not, they can just say, I don't think this guy really knows what he's talking about, so I'm not going to really listen. So the idea of peaking and passing is to get that pressure off of you as quickly as possible. So when we talk to people, we encourage them to say as little as possible. Isn't that right, Brennan?
That is absolutely correct.
Right.
Yes.
So we want to say little as possible. When you see someone live, you might say, or in person, you might say, hey, I think we have some alignment or some synergy on something I would really like to share with you. Do you mind if I talk to you later? Or do you mind if I send you a short video? Would you have the opportunity to watch it and kind of get that response? You're not really saying anything about myEcon. You're not throwing up, the 243 and being like, look, we're about to sit here for 25 minutes and I'm gonna break all this down. No. We want to say as little as possible and move them to a tool so that the tool is doing all the talking for you. The tool is doing all the convincing for you, and you are just being that conduit for that information. So that tool can be another person, so it could be a three-way. The tool could be a video, a peak video, or another short information video, the opportunity video that you have on your website. It can be a call. So there's many different tools that you can actually use to get that pressure and that energy off of you. So you want them to be interested, but not fully informed. So the psychology behind that is you want people to say, I want to know more. And so the point of the peak is not to give all of the information. the point of the Pique is to get them piqued, to get them interested. So as Brian Bean says, you want to just be able to hit it and quit it. You just want to give them just a little bit and move on from there. So one of the things we want to talk about is how you actually engage with people. So if you meet somebody, so Vernon, if I come up to you and I say, hey, how are you doing? And give me a response if someone says, hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So that's a common response that we often give. So Vernon, ask me how I'm doing today.
So, Yasmin, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing so awesome. If I told you, you would not even understand.
Really? Like, what's going on? What you got? What you got going on?
Exactly. So you give them just a little bit where people are saying, wow, you want to make sure that when you're talking to people that you're really positive, even if you look tired. So for example, Vernon asked me how I'm doing again.
Hey, Yasmin, how are you doing today?
I haven't slept in weeks.
Why? Why is that? Why haven't you got?
Exactly. So you're going to ask, and if you say, I haven't slept in weeks, and then you just smile really big, people will be like, that doesn't make sense. If I haven't slept in weeks, I'm going to be looking tired like, oh, I haven't slept in weeks versus I haven't slept in weeks.
Right.
It opens that option up. So it gets people to want to start talking. And so you say, well, why haven't you slept in weeks? And I would say, man, things have just been going absolutely great in my life. I've learned something new, and I'm so excited about it that I'm up every single night studying, getting this information and just growing. And then that continues on that conversation. But you don't want to say a whole lot. So if I say that, then I'd say, oh, let me share a video with you about what I've just recently learned. It's going to take you a few minutes. Do you mind if I send it to you? Would you watch it if I send it to you? The person gives you a response. You say, awesome, okay. And then, after you see it, I just want to follow up with you to see if you have any questions or answers. And so then you schedule that at that point in time. So during that initial interaction, you want to schedule the follow-up. So why is that important? Vernon, do you know why that might be important?
It's important, I think, because it it holds everybody accountable. If I didn't set, and I've made this mistake in the past, if I don't set an appointment to follow up with the individual, I may or may not be able to get in touch with the person. And it's just, don't want to use the word economical, but it's easier if I set up the appointment and say, hey, I'm going to call you at 4:30 next Tuesday Eastern time, and we agreed to put that in each other's schedule. Then I can be more productive. I know that this person is, or this individual is waiting for my phone call versus just calling them out of the blue. You might not get an answer. They may answer, oh, I'm busy right now. Can I call you back later? And then imagine doing that with multiple people. You won't have any type of, there wouldn't be any type of organization, and it's just bad. So.
Yes, absolutely. So you definitely want to have that accountability. It helps you create a schedule, and it also makes sure that the person knows that you're serious about this. You want to follow up with them so that they know that something is going to happen next. And so they're more likely to actually utilize the tool, whether it's a video, a call, or any other tool, or meeting with a person. So what's pretty nice also about peaking and utilizing these tools and then having that follow-up is you get to actually talk to them afterwards. So when I first got started, I think even before I signed up, I sent a peaking tool, one of the videos by Brian Bean, to about 200 people because I was so excited. I didn't follow up with any of them. And I was like, man, one or two people called me and were like, yeah, this seems really interesting. And I was like, as soon as I find out more, I'm gonna share it with you. But I didn't keep that kind of schedule. And then there was a lot of people that watched it, but I didn't follow up. And then I would see them in the community or talk to them, and it's like, yeah, you sent me that video and it was great. And I really wanted more information. But because I didn't peak them, or I didn't follow up with them rather, I didn't get that information to them in a timely manner. And so it was kind of having to go back and say, okay, did I send you this video even before I joined myEcon, or how did I do this? But it helps you stay on top of things, and we get distracted as people. So someone might watch a 9-minute video, and then their baby starts crying, and then they forget all about the video until a week later, and then it kind of hits them. So, and then they may or may not contact you. back about it, but it might still be on their hearts or their minds, and they're still interested, but they just have been distracted by life and haven't contacted you. So that follow-up eliminates that and is extremely important. Additionally, if you're going to have a three-way call as your tool, then you will be able to actually schedule your expert because you know when that call is going to happen. So we are going to go ahead and jump into that a little bit. So hopefully everyone has printed out the documents that were coming with this training. So the first one, let me show you. Can you see this one? So
Yeah.
this is the blank up call the Pique as the blank. Okay. All right. So we are going to start filling this out. Vernon, do you have a copy of it as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So please slow me down if I go a little bit too fast. These documents were actually developed by Brian Bean, so I want to give credit where credit is due. And I went and I just kind of tweaked them a little bit based on what I had learned from these particular trainings that he conducted at Game Changer. So this is a plug for Game Changer. It's an awesome way to learn about the business and to grow. And I wanted to share all of these with you. So this first one is the follow-up call. So that first blank is follow-up call the Pique as the associate. So the first blank is follow. So the follow-up call the Pique as the associate. And again, we're peeking somebody. We're just showing them a peek or giving them a little peek, just showing them just a little bit. So this call is for after you have met with someone, you have collected his or her information, and you want to pique his or her interest. It can also be used in your warm market in terms of your friends, families, and associates. So I'm going to rewind just a little bit. So there's two different types of markets that we often think about in relationship and network marketing. There's your cold market, and those are people that you do not know, you don't have an active relationship with. And then there is your warm market, and that is your family and friends. And then within your warm market, you have different individuals. You have those people that you look up to as mentors. And there's different colors that may be associated with that, but we're just going to leave that alone right now. So you might have those people you look up to, your mentors. And then you will have those people that you kind of consider on your same level, your peers. And then there's the last group, and those are those people who may look up to you. And so it is recommended that when you are creating your list, so they say create a list of 50 people that you would possibly want to share this with. 50 people that could use this, 50 people that could benefit from minimizing their taxes and reducing their debt and being able to earn business income and or become investors. And so that's the ultimate goal for all of us. So 50 people that you know, when maybe they mention money recently, or they mention how they're so excited about getting their refund check, and we recognize it's not really a refund check really isn't a great thing. That's not for this call, but it's definitely not a great thing, because you could keep that money in your pocket every month. So you have all these different people that you may have talked to about money. You might have a nephew or a niece that you said, they just turned 18, 19, and they really could use financial literacy, or they could use some additional income, or, my sister is working 3 jobs and I'd love to help her so that she only has to work 1 and she could do this on the side and it would be something that she would love. So get creative in terms of those thoughts. But your cold market is individuals that you do not actually have a relationship. So you might be in the line at the grocery store and you see someone, the cashier just has really great energy. They've been interacting with people in just a positive manner. They're smiling. They seem really joyful. They appreciate what they're doing. They seem that they really want to help others. And you just say, I really like your energy. I like your spirit. I feel like we may have some alignment, some synergy on something. Do you mind if I send you a video and send you some information? And that person hopefully will say, yes. You've complimented them. And you've told them you like their energy and you like what they're doing. And so hopefully they will respond with yes. And you say, you know what, go ahead and send me a text. I'm going to give you my phone number real quick. Send me a text with your name, and then that way I have your information, and I'm going to send you a video. and it's a quick and easy way to get their information. So you don't know this person very well, but you do know that they have good energy. So Brennan, does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and continue with the form. So number 1 is seek. I just turned it on. Sorry, I apologize that. Seek the truth. Seek the truth. Number 2 is tie them down. Number 3 is edify and promote anything but you. Edify and promote anything but you. And number 4 is call to action, provide alternative choices. Call to action, provide alternative choices.
Got it.
All right. So let's go ahead. The numbers that are at the next paragraph, the 1, 2, 3, and 4, are the same as the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's what they are creating. So this is you've talked to somebody, you've told them that you have a little synergy, some alignment, you want an opportunity to share something with them. And so this is where that peak is going to come in. So do you remember when we talked about X? So X could be when we talked about the synergy that we have, the alignment we have, or getting out of debt, or financial literacy, or becoming investors, whatever that X is for that particular person, that's where you fill that in. And you would say, were you serious or just kidding? Were you serious or just kidding? So number 2 is you have 3 minutes to learn more about X. Again, whatever that may be, personal finances, investing, financial literacy, opening a business. You have 3 minutes to learn more about X, don't you? So then number 3 is, I am working with a group of experts who specialize in whatever that X is, and they highly recommend that you watch this life-changing video, or that you listen to this life-changing call. You listen to this inspiring recording. So that's where you're going to pick whatever tool that you use. And you may, for me, I tend to choose just one tool so that I'm a lot more consistent and I remember what I sent people. Or you might be able to gauge and judge people and figure out what they want to do. So if you're going to send a Pique video, some of the ones that we have, I believe Corey's is about 5 minutes, Brian's is about 8 minutes. So you might change that in 2, so you have 8 minutes to learn more about X, or don't you? Or 10 minutes to learn more about X, don't you? And so again, I'm working with a group of experts who specialize in X, and they highly recommend that you watch this life-changing video. And then ask them, would you be interested in watching? You've already said you have that 3 minutes to learn. They said yes. So then you're going to text or email the link for that particular tool. But you always want to make sure whatever tool that you're using, you're always edifying. You don't want to say, yeah, we got this short little video, or we got this little small something that you can listen to, this small call, the small recording, this short recording. You know, some of these words that make things seem small and less important, you do not want to utilize that. You want to make sure that this is very important to them. Okay, so then number 4 is, what is the best 10-minute slot for you, in the morning or the evening? Or you can say today or tomorrow. So those 2 blanks are pretty flexible for you. You want to just give them 2 choices. So this is providing them alternative choices, so 2 choices. So you can be flexible with that. So we might say today or tomorrow, 10-minute slot for you this morning or after lunch, or you can say before lunch or after lunch. Again, you have some flexibility in that. And so again, in 4B, what's better, during your lunch break or after lunch? Or you could say 10-minute slot this morning or this evening. So this way you're also setting up this time. So whenever you're sending that to them, and you're getting this 10-minute slot, this is when you are going to have your three-way call. So you're sending them a tool, and then right now you're scheduling your three-way call that you're going to have with the expert. And so prior to making the three-way call, you want to make sure you have an expert. Now, an expert does not have to be someone who's been in myEcon for 11 years. It doesn't have to be someone who's been in myEcon for 1 year. Your expert is someone that the person does not know. And you are going to edify that expert. So we're going to move into that next form. Do you have any questions, Vernon, about this?
No, just following along with you.
Awesome. So we're going to move into the three-way blank call. Okay, three-way blank call. All right. So this is the three-way invitation call. The three-way invitation call. And that blank is as the associate. So we have two parts. This is a little bit different than Brian Bean's form. I have the top part is for as the associate. So this is the call for a potential business partner who has watched or listened to Pique video, call, or other tool. So this is after you have sent that tool to the individual, or they've listened to a call, listened to a recording. So this is that follow-up period of time where we ask them, did they have a 10-minute period when they had that best 10-minute period? And the purpose is to get him or her to the next exposure. The purpose is to get him or her to the next exposure. So you want to make sure that you have your quote-unquote expert right before the call. And again, this expert can be someone who's been in the business for a few weeks or a few months. They want to be comfortable enough to be able to answer some basic questions about myEcon, but you're going to edify them. And this call should be about 3, maybe 4 minutes. So it's not a very extensive call. And it again is someone who has not, that the person does not actually know. And so my goal for all of you who are watching this video, for Vernon, is to be able to serve as an expert for me, because I still have people within my warm market that I want to peak with myEcon and our legacy movement. And I need for all of you guys to serve as experts. So hopefully you will learn this technique and be able to utilize it. So the associate should call the quote-unquote expert right before the call to, 1, make sure the expert is available. And that's really important. Sometimes we schedule things and we forget, or we haven't put it on our calendar, but you want to make sure that the expert is actually available and remembers, because it's pretty embarrassing to say, I really want you to talk to this leader in the company, somebody I consider a mentor, let me dial their number, and then you get their voicemail. So we don't want that to actually happen. So with the expert, you're going to give some background information to the expert about the potential business partner. So obviously, if this is someone who's in your warm market, you'll be able to give a little bit more information as to who they are, what type of energy they have, leadership abilities, and things of that nature. And if it's someone in your cold market, you'll be able to say, I met so-and-so at the grocery store, and I just loved this person's energy and how they checked me out, and they were really confident. And when we did the Pique call, their energy was still really excited, and they definitely wanted to see how we had this alignment. And I really enjoyed talking to this person. So even if you don't know a lot, you can still edify them a little bit. And this is ahead of time. Now you're also going to edify your potential business partner once they're on the phone. But this is first to give the expert a little bit of background. So next bullet is, when making the three-way call as the associate, click over to the expert. Do not have the expert on the line when you initiate the call with a potential business partner, because that can seem a little intimidating. You call the potential business partner and you're saying, hey, how are you doing? I already have so-and-so on the phone. You want to make sure that you clear that with them first and say, I would really like for you to talk to my mentor. Do you mind if I call him or her and we talk for a few seconds? Before you click over to the expert, you want to confirm that the potential business partner has watched or listened to the tool that you sent him or her. So confirm with a potential business partner that he or she has watched or listened to the tool you sent him or her. And that's really important. It's not 100% necessity, but it makes the conversation a lot easier, and we'll see why. So the next bullet point is I want to get you on the phone with my mentor or in front of my mentor if you were meeting this person in person for the follow-up. Typically, if you meet someone for a follow-up, it's going to be longer than a 3-minute conversation. And so I just personally discourage that for this aspect of the interaction. So when you click over, introduce the potential business partner and expert. But you want to edify the potential business partner first. And the reason for this is you want the expert to be introduced second so that they can take over the conversation. So then edify the expert. So there's several different points. There's the different personality traits. And so we're hitting all of those with these introductions. And you'll see these introductions are really beneficial when you introduce anyone that's interested in the business, whether it's over a phone call or at a live event. And so these are tools that you can utilize and for other businesses as well. So the psychology behind this is that different people are attracted to different things at different times. So some people want to get all of the facts and all of the information. Other people want to really have a good time and they're excited about having the fun. Other people are really focused more on some of the leadership aspects. And other people are really about having those giving hearts. Give me a quick second. I'm going to go turn the lights on back behind me. I haven't moved enough. And so give me a quick second.
Okay.
All right, I am back. I'm doing this in my cube at work because my internet at home did not have ample bandwidth. All right, so hit the 4 points. So, excuse me, Dr., Miss, Mrs., whoever the expert's name is. So I'm going to say, you know, expert AYZ. So expert AYZ is the Oprah Winfrey in this company, or the Bill Gates of this company, or the Michael Jordan, or LeBron James, or Kobe Bryant. You want to create a larger than life aspect in terms of who this person is and what their future is. So Bill Gates, Michael Jordan, Oprah, these are all different types of names that you can utilize within this company. And 99% of people in the United States should know who these individuals are. And you say, when it comes to the facts, FACTS, Mr. XYZ knows 100% of the information. Even though this is a serious business, he loves to have a good time. But more importantly, he has a heart of gold and spends his or her time and money giving back and helping others. I'm so grateful to introduce you to Mr. XYZ. So again, we're hitting all of those 4 different points, and different, people have different aspects that they are really attracted to. Some people love the giving aspect. Some people love the leadership and having all the information. Some people, again, love to have the good time. Now, this is a skeleton of a script. This is just a basic format, structure of how you can do it. Feel free once you start getting more comfortable to adjust the language, but you still want to hit these major points. So you might say, Vernon knows how to have a good time. When we were in Atlanta, we were cutting up a rug and having a great time at the training and waking up the next morning. He still knew 100% of the facts and then the information and did an awesome job doing the presentation. But more importantly, he really has a heart of gold. And when he went back to Virginia, he was talking about all of the different service projects he was doing and that type of information. And so it's so awesome to see him because he is truly the next Bill Gates of this company. So something similar to that, you can have that flexibility. All right, did you get all of those blanks in there, Vernon?
I did. Let me ask you a question really quick about this sentence where it says, but more importantly, she has a heart of gold and spends his or her time and, was it money?
Money, correct.
Okay, I'm squared away.
All right, awesome. Okay, so that's the introduction for the expert. Now, as the expert, this is the next paragraph. You want to break the ice project thought, pick a strategy and elaborate. And number 4 is call to action and provide alternative choices. So again, this is as the expert. Break the ice is 1. Number 2, project thought. Number 3 is pick a strategy and elaborate. Number 4 is call to action and provide alternative choices. So after the introduction, the expert, you always speak first. You can even interrupt your introduction a little bit if you need to, because you want to make sure that you speak first and that you are the one who is taking lead in this call. So again, after the introduction, you always speak first. So we have a couple of different options of how you are going to speak to the person that's the potential business call. So I have heard you are the type of person, so type of person who is hungry and looking, or are you both? I have heard you are the type of person who is hungry and looking, or are you both? So that's one of the options. Number 2 is I have heard you are the type of person who hates missing out on great opportunities. Is that true? I heard you are the type of person who hates missing out on great opportunities. Is that true? So again, this is the 2. You're projecting a thought. You got all of those?
I do.
Let's turn over to the next page. So for 2C, again, I have heard that you are the type of person who may not be looking for an opportunity, but recognizes one if you see it. I heard you are the type of person who may not be looking for an opportunity, but you recognize one when you see it. This is a good one for the cold market in particular. All right, so number 3. From what you have learned so far, so again, this is why it's important to have that person have already listened to a tool or seen a tool. From what you have learned so far, which of the 3 strategies jumped out you the most? So in all of our tools, we will be going through the 243, the Legacy 243. And so the 3 are the 3 solutions. And so the 1 is cash flow management, minimizing your taxes and reducing your debt. And again, this is Brian Bean's language, so we use, but this still absolutely works. So minimizing your taxes and reducing your debt, thus making your money go further. 2, earning business income, or investment income and asset accumulation. So making your money go further, question mark, earning business income, or investment income and asset accumulation to have your money make money. So you're going over the 3 solutions. And again, this is a framework. You can kind of adjust it as you like. So it's a long sentence, but individuals are figuring out which one of the strategies that they were most attracted to. So improving your cash flow management, which would help you with minimizing your taxes and reducing your debt. So thus you're learning how to make your money go further, earning business income, or becoming an investor. So that's an even shorter way to say all of this. Now you want to be quiet and listen to whatever they have to say. So that you listen and you say, perfect, regardless of which one of the 3 strategies, or all 3 or 2, or however they want to do it, regardless, it is always perfect. Perfect. This coming, and this is again information where you're going to put in dates and times. So you might say this coming Tuesday at 6:50 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and this next Sunday at 7:50 Mountain Standard Time, we will be diving head first into more about whatever it is from their answer 3. So whichever strategy it is, because we cover all of the strategies when we talk about the 243. So we always give that information. So perfect. This coming, and you're going to give a date and time, 2 different dates and times. So that's where those blanks are. So that those, keep those open, because that'll be your your call to action with the multiple options. And we have a whole list of tools for you to utilize for that. But we will be diving head first into more about whatever it is that they're interested in. So you always want to edify this event. Again, we don't ever want to use adjectives that downplay, such as little or small. We always want to make sure that we are edifying it. And if it's, let's say you want someone to come to a live event, say, man, we're going to have this live event. We're going to have this event at this particular location. The energy is going to be great. And you really want to make sure you're going to be there. And some people would say, well, then having it on a conference call seems like it's less than a live event, but that's not true either, because the conference call, you might say, there's going to be people from all over the country on this call, and you absolutely want to be on it. And so you're always edifying your event. If the potential business partner has been on a call, then get them to a live event or webinar. And if they've been to a live event or webinar and they haven't closed yet, then get them to a call. So the idea is you want to keep giving them more exposures. So with many people, it takes about 4 to 5 exposures before they actually are convinced that they want to get involved. And so just recognize that someone's first, second, or even third, they may not jump in and say, okay, I'm ready for this. They may need a little bit more information, a little bit more coaxing in that aspect. And so be generous with that. Be kind. Don't be disappointed. Make sure that you're always excited about getting them to the next exposure. All right, Brennan, do you have any questions at this point?
Actually, I don't, because it's really cool going through this this training and on this video, because you have been my expert many times, and this is very familiar, and I will say the system works. Dr. Yasmin has been a wonderful mentor and has been able to help me achieve a lot of my goals, and the system works. This is some great information.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And this was a hard lesson for me to learn, in terms of saying, utilize what others have done before you, because my mind was like, look, I got a PhD. I can figure all this stuff out. I don't need these tools and this information or these methods. And so I tried out some things on my own, in terms of saying, okay, I'm just going to talk to people. I'm going to give my own 15-minute myEcon presentation, even though I was only, an hour into the business and still wet behind the ears. Had barely, let the ink dry on signing my contract. And it backfired. And it was painful for, having 7 or 8 people say no, no, no. And what I learned from that is just no means next opportunity. And once I got to that point where I understood that, I no longer took it personally when somebody said no. But also when I was using these tools, it couldn't be personally, because people weren't saying no to me. And so I am very grateful that I learned how to do the Pique and Pass. And for me, I look forward to those no's, because I said, okay, if it's 1 in 10 individuals that are going to get signed up, then I need my 9 no's. If we're having some events that are coming up here in Denver, and I'm looking for my 9 no's, I'm going to invite 9 no's so that I have that 1 yes that's in the audience. I'm already anticipating, okay, I already know that you're not going to sign up, you're not going to sign up, you're not going to be interested, but you're my friend, so you're going to come. So I appreciate that. I already know that you're not interested. But go ahead and bring somebody else with you, and looking forward to that 1 yes. But what's also awesome about this is that those statistics change. So the Pique and Pass, it's closer to like 1 in 6 or 1 in 5 that will actually sign up when you really master this, versus doing some of these other techniques. So recognize that the Pique and Pass also doesn't always have to be to an expert. The Pique and Pass can just be to a tool. Someone, wow, you want to learn how to eliminate your debt? Let me share this with you. Can I send this 5-minute video to you, or this 8-minute video to you? Because I really think that's going to be something you're interested in. And so as you grow, you'll learn how to utilize the tools, as well as utilize the network that we have in myEcon.
All right.
So with that, I created, the last document is just a list of multiple different trainings that we have that you can utilize as tools. There's lots of different calls And different people will be motivated to do different things. So as the expert, when you talk to people, you might say, when you have those two different options, that call to action, you might indicate, well, we have a live call where you can listen in and ask questions, or I can send you a video that you can watch on your own time. So again, you're giving two different options, and the individual will kind of say what they want. And some people really want the live event so that they can ask those questions, or the live calls, the webinars. Other people will say, you know, I don't have as much time and flexibility. I would like for the video. Now, I like when people say I would like for the video, because then that helps me to say, awesome. Then I want to set up a time as the expert to follow up with you to answer any of your questions. And so you will, you know, when you're sending them a video, the video doesn't typically answer the questions when they ask them. If it does, those are new tools we don't have yet.
Right.
So, but they watch the video and then they get a chance to talk to you as the expert to close. And so that closing is awesome in that you can, again, ask them, what did they like the most? What were they most interested in? What stood out the most? Why are they most excited about this? And you always want to keep it positive language. You don't want to say, what did you think?
Right.
Because when you say, what did you think, people can think positive, negative. You always want to say, what did you like the most, or what stood out to the most, or what can help you the most in your life. And then in terms of the close, there's a couple different methods. So if you are using the cash flow happiness
One second.
video, at the end, they give you a 3, a 1, 2, or 3. And I might get this backwards, but the one I believe is, you know, thank you, you know, for this information, but I'm just really not interested. Say, okay, that's one of my no's, next opportunity. The 2 would be, you know, I think this is great and I love what you guys are doing. I don't think I really am interested in the business income aspect, but I want to learn about everything else. And then number 3 is, I'm absolutely all in. I want business income. I want the opportunity to share this with people. I want the software and all the huge package that comes with the financial success management. I'm all in. So that's one strategy. Another strategy that Brian Bean teaches is on a scale from a 1 to a 10, are you, so 1 to a 10, are you at least an 8 or higher? So 1 is down here, 10 is up here, are you at least an 8 or higher? And so you'll get the response from the person, and let's say they say, well, you know, I'm a 6. You say, okay, well, that's awesome. We're really only interested in working with people that are 8 or higher, that are really interested in this. So thank you so much for your time. Or if they say, you know, I'm an 8, and say, okay, well, what would it take for us to get those 2 points to get you up to being a 10, and find out what that answer is? And for some people, it might be, I just need to go get my debit card out of the car, or, you know, I just want a little bit more information about this, or I need to go contact such and such, my husband or my wife or my spouse, and discuss this with them. So provide whatever information that they usually need. And for many people, it is just a little bit more information. And so you might say, well, if we were to provide you with this information this weekend or today, do you think you would be ready to get signed up? Or when would you be ready to get signed up? So you just want to be able to call to action and give them that opportunity as well. So on this list, we have a list of the different sharing and training opportunities. And this is definitely not exhaustive. There are many different people in myEcon that have multiple trainings all over the country, webinars, live events. And so do your due diligence in looking up these different events and these different calls. But this list has something from Sunday through Thursday. And so hopefully when you're inviting your guests, you can have this in front of you to find a time for them to attend something that's live, or be able to provide those videos for them. So do you have any questions for me, Vernon?
No, actually I don't. But however, can you give me one moment? I think my computer's going to shut down on me. I don't want that to happen
Okay.
on live call. Just give
Okay,
me.
well, actually, we're going to go ahead and get stopped here.
Okay.
This is the end of the training. If you don't have any questions, and we don't have anything from the group chat right now, then thank you so much for being a guest. If you have anything else that you would like to say before your
Um.
computer shuts down.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say thank you again, Dr. Yasmin, for doing this video. This training is very, very important, especially when it comes to building your business. I think that peaking and passing, the technique, it works very well. I can speak from experience, and
Good.
building your business is important. So thank you again for your time and efforts.
Oh, no problem. It was absolutely my pleasure. I'm so excited to be part of our legacy movement where wealth is possible, to be part of myEcon, to be part of the other movements as an affiliate member. And so hopefully this will benefit others that get an opportunity to watch the replay or watch it on YouTube. And wealth is possible. So let's build. Have a wonderful night.
All right, you too.